Your question is, how do we move towards experiencing oneness? Your question is the question of one who has been delving in the spiritual realm for a long period of time. On one level, there is no ability for you to not experience oneness. You are the oneness. It is like looking at something either with your bare eyes or with a microscope. If you were to look at a table, for example, with your bare eyes, it looks a particular way. It looks solid, it looks hard. If you were to look at the table through the microscope, you would see different levels and layers. You would see, depending on the strength of the microscope and the equipment being used, you would see the atoms that create the table. The atoms are not more real than what your eye is capable of seeing. The table that your eyes see is not more real than the atoms that are seen through the microscope. It is a matter of perspective. Whether you experience it in a conscious level or not, on an energetic level, you are made of the same thing as everything else in the universe. You are oneness. You are one. There is no separation. There is no differentiation. But on a perceivable level, when you look through your eyes at the table, it looks different than when you look at the energetic level of connection. So the first step in moving towards a deeper experience, a perceptive, perceptual, conscious experience of that oneness, the first step to approaching that, to enabling that, to walking through the door towards that experience, is to drop the idea that it is difficult, that it is challenging, that only spiritually evolved people have access to that kind of experience. Medha herself used to have this idea. She used to beg and plead internally for the experience of it, which was emanating to the universe and within herself, the feeling and idea that she wasn't having that experience. It is not difficult. It is like those 3D puzzles that you see with your eyes. Depending on the focus, you can see the dolphin, or you can see an array of shapes that make no conscious sense to you. The dolphin is always in the painting. The dolphin is always in the image. It's a matter of focus. Your oneness is always in you. You cannot get away from it. But it is a matter of focus. And if you tell yourself that it is difficult, that it is challenging, that it is for the spiritually elite, it prevents you from being able to have the experience in a conscious way, although you are still having the experience. It is just a matter of whether you are looking with your eyes or whether you are looking through the microscope. Also, your brain grows, shall we say, grooves when you have constant repeated thoughts. This is part of the reason that people have misunderstood but tried to use the idea of affirmations. They are trying to make positive, productive grooves into their brain. If you attempt to playfully, not with any kind of force, not with any trying to create an active change, if you playfully encourage your mind to think thoughts about, even if I can't feel it right now, there is a level of oneness that is available to me. I'm looking forward to when I experience that oneness. I can experience that oneness with a shift of focus. I am learning and training myself at being able to choose the focus with which I experience it. Bringing that air of playfulness and possibility, and also actually inevitability. Because here is the other thing. You have experienced oneness. You have experienced oneness many, many times. Your yearning for love and connection with others is because you are craving the experience of oneness, but you have felt it. Those feelings of being really deeply joyous, being really deeply happy, you may not be conceiving of them as the experience of oneness, but they are. Because those feelings come when you allow yourself to experience the reality of who you are, and that reality is oneness. This is not difficult. This is not challenging. This is not for the spiritually elite. This is your natural state, and it is just a matter of playfully playing with the focus, as you do with the focus on a camera. You turn the lens one way, it brings focus. You turn the lens the other way, it brings blurred focus. It is just a matter of perspective. It is just a matter of using your eyes or using your microscope. But we remind you, and we repeat it again and again, you have had the experience of oneness. You are the experience of oneness. It is not separate from you. It is not far away from you. You have had it. It's just that you have conceptualized it as something different. Make it playful. Be open to it, and acknowledge to yourself with your mind, with your thoughts, with your self-talk, that it is who you are, that you have experienced it before, that you're open to experiencing it in a way that is different than what your mind is telling you it will look and feel like. We love you. And we wish that we could insert inside of you the feeling of the knowing of your value, your beauty, your worth. But all we can do is radiate it to you, be a mirror of it to you. And as you allow yourself, because you have free choice, because you have free will, as you allow yourself to experience it inside of yourself, you will see yourself in us more and more clearly. Because you are us, we are you, we are oneness. Go well.